It looks like it's going to be a bit nadgery. Oh, look at that road. Good morning. It is an absolutely glorious day today. Beginning of December. I'm just heading down to give the bike a quick wash because I haven't had a chance to wash it in the last couple of weeks. And then I'm heading down to Marazion, and we're going to film a little bit of an intro to the channel, tell you a little bit about us, what we do, why we're doing it, and yeah, we've got a glorious day for it. We were going to do it yesterday, but it was chucking it down all day yesterday, so we postponed it for today.
We're talking about Everyday Biker. How has Everyday Biker come about? What is Everyday Biker?
Yeah, it was mostly just posting stuff so that friends and family could see what I was getting up to, and even friends and family who weren't into bikes seemed to be quite interested and quite excited about what I was doing. My first experience on a bike was when I was about 13. My parents were living in Suffolk when I grew up, and they had a friend in Norfolk who had a zoo, and we went up to see him for the day, and he had a zoology student helping him out over the summer. And this guy was, I don't know, he was in his late teens, he was in his early 20s, and he had a Honda Super Dream 125, and I just thought this was the coolest thing ever. And this guy, bless him, let me ride it round the car park. So I was 13 riding a 125 around the car park, and I just thought it was the best thing ever, and it had me totally hooked. The majority of what I do is camping, for a number of reasons. The main reason is economy. I like riding around on my bike, and I would rather do 3 budget trips than 1 trip staying in fancy hotels. So yeah, I tend to camp when I'm on my own. If I'm with Emma, we tend to stay in Airbnbs. But if I'm on my own, doing my own thing, yeah, I definitely camp. Well, I actually started riding before I closed the business. I think the big thing was when my youngest went off to university, and I decided that the time had come for me to do my bike test and get a bike. Touring on my bike just seemed like the obvious thing to do. So yeah, I've done quite a lot of touring around the UK and a reasonable amount around Europe now, mostly France and Spain, but we're putting that right next year by going a bit further afield. 3 weeks is the longest that I've done, mostly because I can only get 3 weeks off work at any particular time, although we're working around that a little bit this summer, in that we're riding out over 3 weeks to Romania. I've managed to find somewhere where I can store my bike, so I'm going to fly home for 6 weeks and go to work, and then I'm flying back out again, and I'm going to spend 3 weeks riding round Romania and then back from Romania again. Absolutely. I was very aware of the fact that you are very exposed on a bike. You're not riding, when you're riding round, you haven't got a metal cage with crumple zones and everything else, and what would be a minor slow speed impact in a car can be pretty catastrophic on a bike. So I wanted to make sure that I was as safe as I could be. So as soon as I'd done my big bike test, I signed up with the IAM to do their advanced test, partly so that I would be as safe as I could be on the road, and partly also that because I wanted to ride for Cornwall Blood Bikes, and having your advanced license is part of the conditions for riding for Blood Bikes. Well, you don't have to buy new, and you don't have to spend a huge amount of money. I mean, I have got 3 bikes, but I've spent 5 years getting those 3 bikes, The cheapest bike was my RT, which I bought at auction for less than £4,000. And if the only disadvantage with that is it only has one seat, but if you're only ever going to go away on your own, you will never need more bike than this is. And the Goldwing was the most expensive bike, which cost me £7,000, which, yeah, £7,000 is a lot of money, but actually it's not a lot of money for a bike, particularly a Goldwing.
Oh, look at this. Mountains with snow on, twisty roads. What more do you want?
For me, the beauty of riding a bike is the freedom that comes with it, and I just a lot of the time when I go to Spain in January, my plan is to get off the ferry and ride to somewhere sunny, and I had exactly the same when I went to France in September. I got off the ferry. I had a rough plan to go to the Alps and then head down to the Mediterranean, but the weather forecast for the Alps was terrible, so I veered off, rode across the middle of France, rode down to the Spanish border, round the coast of the Mediterranean, up into the Alps once the weather had improved, and then back across the middle of France to Santander, where I got the ferry home. So I only knew where I was going about a day or two in advance. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of stuff lined up. But the first thing in 2026 is going to be a 3-week tour of Spain in January. I've then got some UK stuff happening in April, a couple of trips to France in May and the beginning of June. July, I'm off through Eastern Europe to Romania. There'll be a bit of a pause in July and August. September, I'm flying back out to Romania and spending most of September coming back. And then we've got another trip to France and another UK trip lined up in the autumn. So at the beginning of next year, 2026, we're going to be launching a Patreon channel, and that will give people the opportunity to come and ride with me and do some tours and some meetups. Hopefully you'll be liking the sound of what we're doing. Please subscribe to the channel, because that means that if you tick your notifications, you'll be notified of whenever we upload a video, which we're going to do pretty regularly. And if you can like and share the videos out there, it will help the channel grow and it will help us achieve what we're trying to do.